Hello and good morning, everybody. I think I'm live now. My signal here is a bit terrible, so not always get a proper, because I'm hiding away from the world. There's not enough signal to get to me. But anyway, today we have this Mini Cooper, the R56, and I'm gonna be changing the oil and the oil filter in it. This is a 2009 model. I already have a video on this particular car. I already made a video of how to do the maintenance on this car, but today we're just doing a live version of it to see, you know, the everything that goes on when I do a service. Often when we just make a video, obviously we just edit the video and cut a lot of the stuff. So on a live video, we get to see the whole process. So I'm changing the oil and the oil filter. Gonna check the coolant, top up some screen wash fluid, and this particular car hasn't done that many miles since its last service, but these cars, this particular engine does burn a lot of oil and whatnot, so it's a good idea to keep an eye on that as well, via the dipstick obviously. But today we'll just do the maintenance. Today is the 7th of March. This is a Mini Cooper. Mini Cooper 2009. Its color is green. Just filling in the everything that I'm going to write down of what I'm going to do with the car. This is the oil filter I'm going to be using for this car. It's a Bosch P9249. So like I said, this is not exactly a how-to, because I already have how to do the maintenance on this car. But if you have any specific questions you want to ask, you can go ahead and ask. That's what I do the live for while I'm here doing this car. If you just wanted to check the oil, here's the dipstick. This is where you can check your oil in this Mini. This particular one is only done like 50,000 miles. If we clean that dipstick and we check it, we want to be somewhere up on this end, not this end. So I'll see where we are at the minute. And this one, it's, you may be able to see, maybe not, but it's halfway. So it's kind of consumed quite a bit. And all the Minis consume oil. It's really important to check your oil if you own one of these R56. Right, I'm gonna leave the dipstick out. I'm gonna open this oil filler cap here. I'm gonna check the coolant as well, coolant level, percentage of antifreeze. So I warmed up this car a little bit. It's not particularly hot, but we still wanna be careful if you open this cap when your car is hot. Release the pressure. I'm gonna use this cool gadget to check the percentage of antifreeze. So when you suck some of that antifreeze on this little gadget, it shows you there, like this one says -40. So the percentage of antifreeze is rated to about -40. That means the temperature will have to be -40 for this liquid to freeze. You can have it at -30 or so. Depends where you live. Obviously, if you live in the North Pole, yeah, it's a great one, made by Worth. There are other makes and models out there that you can get, but I particularly like that one. So in this car, the coolant is, you can see the green. Well, let me see, I'll get a light. So if you shine a light on that tank, which is usually your car keeps losing coolant. Is it a Mini as well? Like this one? Well, it doesn't really matter if it's a Mini or not, but if it is losing coolant and you can't find the leak, that might be a slightly more serious issue. It might be something like a cylinder head gasket letting some of the coolant into the cylinders. I mean, that is the worst case scenario. I mean, it's okay for it to go down a little bit, but like this particular tank here, it's clear by nature, obviously, and if you put coolant, you can see it. This color is green. And often in the Mini, after a year that it's been driving or something, it's down a little bit. Sometimes it's down from the max to the min, but if it was below the minimum or even no coolant in the tank, then that would be concerning. So there would be a leak somewhere. And these are common. They usually leak. Sometimes they leak. This tank leaks, so the coolant disappears from here, but only up until the point this is empty. However, yeah, if you can't find any leak, maybe a pressure test it's required. So it's a machine, well, it's not a machine, but it's a tool again. You can look online for the tool. You screw it on here and you apply pressure to it, and then you leave it for a few hours, and then you can see if there's any obvious coolant coming out of somewhere. If there isn't, and the coolant is going down, it may be going into the cylinder, into the engine cylinders. So you may see a bit more extra smoke coming out the back or stuff like that. But you would really have to get a spark plug out and also inspect your cylinders, maybe with a camera or something. I mean, all those gadgets are easy to get online these days, like, you know, a scope. If it was a cylinder head, it's quite a big job. It's a huge job. You have to disconnect the chain, remove everything, remove the camshafts, and then the head. You'll have to disconnect the exhaust, the intake manifold, inspect and then obviously replace the gasket. So it's quite a big job, and it requires some tools for aligning and when you get it back. Yes, you do the pressure test with your coolant in here. So this has got coolant up to here, like this tank. So that there is coolant in the system. So you remove this cap. You remove that cap, and then in the kit that you get for the pressure test, you have different caps. So you have to match the correct cap to put in there. Then you screw it on, and then that will come with like a pump, so you can pump and put pressure on it. It's really relative how much pressure you put in, but it depends on the tool. So I think you would have to, well, it will be on the instructions. Plus, I think it would be a good idea to have a look at, there might be a video. I don't have a particular video on doing a pressure test, but there might be a video out there, I would think, of how to carry out a pressure test, and then it'll be safe to do so. Because at the minute, at the top of my head, I don't remember how much pressure you would apply, but the device only lets you apply so much pressure anyway. And then, like I said, you leave it for a few hours and see if there's any obvious leaks somewhere. However, how often do you lose coolant? That is the question. Is it very often, or is it... I mean, if it's weekly or so, then yeah, there's definitely... You should be able to see some coolant somewhere. So yeah, it should be obvious if it's frequently that you have to fill that in. If it's every year, then it won't be that frequent. And these tend to leak from the water pump. The water pump can leak, and the radiator every 2 weeks. Okay, that could be a water pump, but you should be able to see the leak somewhere, or yeah, you should inspect down by the water pump, or even the radiator. But I would think, because when the car gets hot, the thermostat actually the thermostat also leaks, the thermostat housing. But you should be able to see coolant somewhere. I have done the replacement of a thermostat housing on one of these as well, and you can see the coolant sitting just under the housing. It sort of sits on the gearbox area. Have a look there. It might be accumulating a bit of coolant, but every 2 weeks it should already start leaking on the sides. And because the coolant is got color, whether it's green or depends which one you have, blue or green or orange, but depends on the year. It really leaves strong marks, leaves like a green stain. Or I use the G12 coolant that is pink. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you should be able, you should see the pink, to be fair. So unfortunately it's sounding a bit more like a cylinder head gasket, but saying that also, I think you would be getting maybe a little bit of overheating or something going on. What year is it a Mini? What year is your car? Oh, it's an Audi TT. Right. Is that 2-liter petrol? Well, it doesn't matter, but yeah, it does sound a little bit more. At the minute, it sounds like a cylinder head gasket, but do you get any white smoke coming from the back? Oh, I see. Thanks. Oh, just need to take a call. Yes, sir. Okay. Yep. 12:39. Oh. Yeah. God's sake. All right. I'll have a look. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No worries. Okay. See you soon. All right. Okay. Oh, you just come across my channel by scrolling. Yeah, fair enough. I know, that's what I'm worried. Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, like today's like 8 degrees. Like when I start any car at the minute, there is smoke coming. Once the car is warm, the smoke stops. So technically that's what should happen. But if you do have extra smoke, it might be burning coolant. And yeah, that is a bit more of a job. Actually, there is an Audi coming in a minute to me, but that's for a different purpose. An Audi A4, but it may be worth getting it checked. You don't see milky oil. Yeah, that's a good sign. But it could, what it could mean is that if some part of the cylinder head gasket is broken, where it's just leaking into the cylinders and not yet, it's not completely blown. Basically, it's not completely broken, so it's not mixing. So it's borderline really. Because yeah, obviously once it's mixed, you will be able to see a milky mix even here, or your dipstick. But it's worth finding out the problem, the sooner the better, and that way, if the if your head gasket blows, it may cause more of a mess basically when it needs to get done. Yes, you could have coolant in the cylinder head itself, small amounts. Like at the moment, it might be small drips. So yeah, it's worth getting it checked, I would think. And obviously, if you can find a leak, that would be the best option, really. How many miles does the car have? Well, that's the thing. Usually, normally they would check well, that's the problem that happens, is that if you don't get it done on time, sometimes if the car overheats due to the gasket, the head may bend a little bit, and that's why it needs to be skimmed. So technically, the sooner it's taken care of, the better. I mean, they would check the head anyway it has to be flat, and if it may need to be slightly skimmed. Because that would be the better process. So yeah, it's worth considering that. The whole thing needs to be really, I mean, you would have to replace the gasket, the cylinder head, and the gaskets on the exhaust and intake manifold. And also, while you're there, maybe they'll check the valves, check the valve stem seals. Those kinds of things are worth doing if that is the case. But make sure you haven't got an obvious coolant leak somewhere. I mean, if you have an under tray, the coolant could be also accumulating in the under tray. So fingers crossed it's not a cylinder head gasket. Right, that's my oil filter. So it'll be definitely worth getting it checked before you have any serious issue, and obviously then you break down somewhere and blah blah blah. There are some products out there. I have seen some products. And it's all depending on how big the leak is or not. I have seen a product. I never actually. I used something called what is it called? Radweld or something like that. I have used Radweld, but that Radweld is specifically to if you have a leaking radiator. The Radweld goes into the radiator and whatnot, and it blocks the holes. It's like a temporary fix. But I have seen a product, you'll have to search it online, which is for, it says it can seal the cylinder head, but I never used it. So I can't really say. There are products. That's the thing. There are products, but I don't know whether they work or not. But any product like that, I would say is a temporary fix to keep you going for a little longer, maybe. But eventually, you will need to change the cylinder head gasket if that's what the problem is. Right. Coolant check. Screen wash checked, topped up, and done and dusted. Now I am going to, so I'm going to leave that cap open, leave that open, car up, drain the oil. So these cars I service, they get serviced every year regardless the mileage. So even if it's done 2,000 miles, it gets an oil change. And that has proven to be very good. Oh, no worries, Stephen. I hope you get it sorted, and I hope it's not a cylinder head gasket. But these days, I had a VW Golf the other day. Actually, that was it had a valve bent. Don't know how it happened, and I don't normally do deep jobs like that, cylinder heads out and whatnot, but it wasn't that dramatically costly. It was about £350, but it was on a VW Golf, 2009. Something like that. So it wasn't dramatically bad, but make sure, yeah. Well, I hope you get it sorted, man. Right, let's continue this. So what I'm going to do now is I need to remove all the wheels, inspect the discs and pads. And by the way, guys, don't forget to like the videos or the video and subscribe if you want to. I'm pretty sure you're gonna find a video of your car in my channel somewhere. I've done so many videos out there, from changing headlight bulbs to discs and pads, oil changes and whatnot, and in many different cars. So you may find your car. I never actually done a TT, if you're still there, Stephen, but the Audis and Golf sort of share the platforms regarding the engines. Right, let's get this up. So just yes, you're right. It's like the chassis is from a Golf, isn't it? But it looks nice. I like the TT. I never had one. But it looks nice. Right, I'm just gonna check the tire depth. These tires are fairly new. They were changed not long ago. There's 7 mils of thread on that. Gonna check the rest, make sure they are all similar. Right. One of the tires has a small sort of lump. So the 2 front tires are quite new. But the rear passenger tire it has a good thread. It's got 5 millimeters of thread, but in the inner wall it's got a little lump. So if you pass your hand along the wall, usually if there is a little lump or something, you can feel it with your hand, with your fingers. So you want to do the same on the inside. And usually those tires need to be changed really. Right. Now I have to remove the tires. I may have to disappear for a few seconds, not seconds, but maybe half an hour, because I need to assess a car. Oh, perfect. So removing all the wheels really allows me to have a proper look at the discs and the pads, because although sometimes we can see the disc and the pad from the side of the wheel, you can see this side of the pad, but you can't see the other side, which is here. So you can see this side, but you can't see that side. Only when you take the wheel you can. And occasionally the pad may look good on this side, but it's wearing out on that side. That can happen. It doesn't happen all the time, but it can. So when you do remove the wheel, you can actually see. And you can't assume that if this side is okay, the other side is okay. Usually it happens on any side. So that is cars for you. So this has got good pads. Discs are okay for its age anyway. It's not too corroded. It's actually quite clean. I have seen some cars, and I worked on cars that are so corroded. I really wonder well, maybe they drive them at the coast, or it depends how much they've been driven. However, it's like I was doing a Lexus RX 400h. That was just, those really corrode wherever you leave. That's an older one, a 2007 model. Don't know why they get so corroded. I don't think they have enough protection, but in terms of mechanically, those cars are very good cars. Like engine, gearbox, they will outlive the body. And these other cars, these German cars, they're usually quite good in terms of corrosion, but they are a little bit more high maintenance in terms of engine, transmission and whatnot. So the better you look after it, the longer it lasts. Right, just gonna have a quick look around. Before I forget, I'm going to write it down. And before I write it down, I was just changing the filter on my filter. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. Right, I'm gonna get the car up, drain the oil. Okay, we need so this oil pan and everything down here is really nice and dry. There's no oil leaks. That's the other thing to look for. There's no leaks from anything else, coolant leaks. Well, you would have to inspect it a little bit more deep, but I've got nothing to suspect here. This is a messy process, draining the oil on this model.
No.
What, you top up all the time?
Yeah.
This is what
What?
all the time.
All the time. Oh, really? What? Right there.
You always say that, but when I check, always full.
Really? So when the last time you those eggs? 10 years ago?
2 months ago.
You think? You think you old man?
Mouse, you live here, right? You eating there. Yeah.
Oh, could you please just look at the light?
Which one? I don't think I have any here. Headlight?
Yeah, headlight.
Yeah. I just remove this and let it leak.
Hey.
Huh?
What?
I said I'm just gonna remove these.
Yep.
And let it drain while.
Yep. Oh my.
4.2 liters. $4.2 oil.
Amazing. Only 100 pounds. Only.
happened to him again?
Huh?
Oh, what happened to golf?
Golf. I haven't told the price yet.
Ah.
7,000? Kilo? Jim, they're not interested.
I'm not interested.
No. He said he took the car to Jim last week, and they said no. They don't want to give the price.
They don't want to give the price. Are they waiting for you? Oh, I see. And then they offer to bring a quick more. That time they exchange. Stuck side and flat.
What do you want? It's not an offer. It's an offer. He said no. Every single time that I ask you, he said no. I don't know. Yeah. You mean this one?
Yeah. Somewhere here it's not enough. Now it's 50. Not here. This will be not here.
It's still good.
Huh?
It's still.
Yeah.
It's still.
Not here.
Baby!
But it's good. Cracks.
Huh?
Some cracks here.
Oh, the other one.
No, the other one looks like it's been changed. That's the
It doesn't feel.
and,
Oh, it doesn't feel. It doesn't feel. Oh, you missed. Yeah. Thank you. I don't know. Thank you. It's about, I have to babysit. You like it. I do. So, 2 tired, yeah?
Yep.
Right. Good, you find out. Motor. Motor.
Now it's all there.
And we live in Venice, and we come. This guy got to and then and then you find my child. You terrible that. sometimes one day and you ask them, you should you check the place. And second, and they will tell you, and then regularly, and now every time you come over here, you fucking check the I think we did applicable to the bill like this. How did you get? I think I get ask you permission. This is not like because yeah, it's charging like a normal thing. Not a hyper. See.
Right, we'll carry on now. That's the sun plug bolt, and there's a washer there. Have to change it. Hopefully I have one. That doesn't fit. Right. Luckily I had one. It's quite a big O-ring. So that's pretty much finished stripping. So I use this product for cleaning oil, rinsing the oil, whatever. Because as we said earlier, that area was nice and clean, so I want to leave it nice and clean as it was. And so this is really good for rinsing oil. So I normally add it to one of these, pump a little bit, and then clean the area. tighten that to about 35 Newton meters. Okay, now I'm gonna lower the car, put the wheels back on, and top up some oil, and get our new filter on. So, as I already mentioned, this isn't exactly a video tutorial of how to do this, because I have a tutorial out there, you can have a look. This is more of a, if you have any questions, queries, if your car is, I don't know, if you need some advice, if I can give you some, then I will, but obviously it doesn't mean I know everything. Anyway, I'm gonna lower the car now. Also, it's kind of lunchtime. I am feeling hungry. I just want to finish this and then I can go and have some lunch. It's 1:30 now. Well, it depends where you are. I'm in the UK. It's 1:30 in the afternoon today, Saturday. Right, gonna disappear a bit, gonna go and do all the other 3 wheels, then we can lower the car. What is everybody doing today anyway? Today's Saturday. It's a bit grey and gloomy here, but it always is in the UK. How is the weather where you are?
plug open today? What is it? The closed. Okay. Yeah. In the battery.
No, Saturday.
Zipper closed?
Jeep hole?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Are you zipper there? You.
No.
Yeah. No zipper?
No. Just checking the tire pressures as well, topping up a little bit of air. Just making sure they're not flat. So in this particular car, the Mini, you can find the tire pressure recommendation if you open the driver's side door, and on the side pillar you will find a sticker, and in that sticker it shows you how much air you need to put on the tires. So other cars usually have that sticker behind the fuel cap. Right, I'm just going to lower the car now. Yeah. Okay. This is fine. Monday I'm not here. Yeah, Tuesday I should be here. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Right. All that's left to do now is put some oil in this car. And of course, not forgetting the oil filter. As we all know in this life, shit happens. So a few years ago, I put oil in the car and I didn't do my usual double, triple checks. And I actually have forgotten to put this in. So I started the car and of course the oil started coming out at great pressure and it made a... I've quickly realized, obviously, and I switched the car off. It wasn't this one. Huh? So anyway, as I was saying, these days I try to do a recap of everything, so I know. So sun plug bolt, I torque to 35 Newton meters. Oil filter is 25 Newton meters. That's what I'm doing now. Right. So this car takes 4.2 liters of oil. Right, got my oil in, 4.2 liters. Now we can have a quick look at the dipstick. Make sure the oil is in there. And as I said before, this side here is the minimum, this side here is the maximum. So the max is towards the stick, obviously. The minimum is that end. I expect to be these a little bit over the max. Right, you may not be able to see the shiny area here, but all this is shiny. So, and the reason we are all the way up here with the oil is because after you run the engine, some of the oil will go into the oil filter housing and stay there. And once you check your oil again, it will go down to the normal level. So that's good. So just to recap, oil filter is on, oil is in there, this is closed, dipstick is in and locked, and sump plug bolt, it's on and tightened to 35 Newton meters. I'm gonna get the car going. This particular one has a funny noise, so don't be alarmed when I start it. It's got a funny noise when I start it and then it goes away. I need to diagnose that at some point. Apart from that loud noise, the engine is now nice and smooth, but if you hear that at the startup, that's the noise I'm talking about. Right. Thank you everybody for joining my video today. I've finished with the service of this car. I need to figure out what the noise is when I start the car. It's only when it's cold. When it's warm, the noise doesn't happen. But the car's been like this for years. So might be one of the pulley wheels on the side. Now anyway, it's lunchtime. I'm hungry. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe. And if you have any queries, drop me a message. Most likely you can find your car in one of my videos. That's why you should subscribe. But you don't have to. So anyway, thank you guys. Thanks for joining me, and hasta la vista. We'll see you all in the next video.